So high I'm hypnotized. What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
To my party.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to Armoury. Welcome to Arsenal chat. Not Arsenal news, Arsenal chat. There will be some news, some updates, a little bit of that. But other than that, there will be mainly just one big talking point, which is going to be talking about the post-mortem of our transfer window. So yeah, it's a big talking point. We need to get into it. Evening to my pod brother. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, we need to talk about it. It needs to be talked about. There is some stuff that happened that people need to know and they need to make the decision on. So yeah, we're going to get into it a little bit more deeper. There's a lot of false information out there, and I will roll some of that out as well. Good evening from Fred's House of Silly Punters. Good evening to Tony. Big up to King. Hope you're doing well. And Brenny is just a happy money. Right, let's get into talking about some of this stuff. So this is what we're going to start talking about first. Transfers in. How did we do? Now, a lot of people want to say we overpaid for this person, that person, overpaid an absolute fortune. We actually didn't. Rice, baby, I'm still buzzing. Well, this is the chat now. We've got to talk about this sensibly and calmly, in a nice, calm manner. Now, you all know me, and I do a lot of research into all of this. So we brought in 4 players. We brought in 3 players on permanent transfers, and we brought in 1 player on loan. And that is going to be pretty 99% sure will be a permanent transfer as well. So our actual outgoings for the players that we've actually spent in total is £228 million, which to a lot of people is quite a lot. I was hoping it would be over the 300, but we'll get into why it wasn't over the 300 very shortly. So let's go into a little bit more detail on the 4 signings we brought in. Declan Rice, we spent £100 million on. Now, a lot of people want to say we overpaid by an absolute fortune. We didn't. We overpaid by about £8 million regarding the market value. Tony's given a rating of transfers in 8 out of 10. To be fair, I'm probably not far from that. I'm probably on a 7, only because I'm down marking us because I feel that we should have got one more signing. But we'll go into why we didn't get that one more signing very shortly. And big up to Tony Fulbrook. Hope you're doing well. Right, let's move on. We'll skip Havertz. There is a bit more of a talking point about Havertz in a bit. We'll do into Timber. Now, obviously, it's a very sad situation. What happened with Timber? He's out pretty much most of the season now. It's the selling is the issue. We'll definitely get into that. I just want to go on to the ins at the moment because a lot of people believe that we overpaid for a lot of people. We didn't. Timber. We paid £34 million. That will rise with add-ons. However, this is the important factor here. We underpaid by about £13.2 million on Timber. In the market and how everyone was being sold and this and that and this and that and this and that, we saved £13.2 million on Timber. Now, that's a bargain. We've seen how good he is, and it's absolutely fantastic. David Raya, now, obviously, it's a £3 million loan fee, will be a £27 million fee once it's permanent. However, once again, on him, we've actually saved £5 million. Let's quickly go on to Havertz. There is a bigger talking point with Havertz, and we'll get into that. We paid £64 million. That will be paid over the 5-year of his contract. And we overpaid by £7 million. So in total, we have not overpaid at all. We have actually saved money, which I love. I'm a Scrooge McDuck, so I'm absolutely happy that we saved some money on that. Let's see what people are saying. 7 out of 10. I like who we bought in, but we needed 2 more and sell better for it to be higher. Exactly. This is the problem. This is the biggest problem. A lot of people want to have a moan at me, want to have a moan at loads of different factors. But the problem is we didn't sell very well, and we didn't sell at all well. And we will get into that. It is the sell, yeah, 100%. We good inners and bad outers story continues. Look, we'll get into what's going to happen in January, what will happen next summer, because we are planning for the next 12 months. So I think we're in a fairly good position. I'm pretty sure Arsenal are pretty not happy about the summer window in total because it didn't go according to plan. I think we ended up on about plan M. Yeah, we started with plan A, quickly moved to plan B, quickly moved to plan C, and then I think we ended up in about plan M in the end. It was mad. Big up to Luke. 5 out of 10 considered players in and out. Havertz for 65 when we could have got Kudos or Maddison for £25 million less. Well, that's the big talking point, and we will get into that. There is a different section for him. We're going to go into the outs now, and this is where, unfortunately, it's not great. It's not great. Right, we're going to get into some of the release players that have not had a new club as of yet. So Matthias Roberts, he's been released, still no club. Tino Kwamina, no club. Alex Kovacevic, I can never say his name. Kovacevic has been released, still no club. Also, who else has been released? George Lewis, he has been released, still no club. Right, we'll move on to the loans. We'll start with the youth first. That will be a lot easier. Brian Okonkwo has obviously joined Leatherhead. That is Arthur's younger brother. And then we've got Khalil Green. He has signed for Colchester as well on a free. We've got Mauro Bandera. He has joined Colchester on loan. Henry Jeffcott, one of the players I like, has joined Derby. Billy Vigar has joined Eastbourne. Hubert Glaskick has joined Slough, but I believe that is getting cancelled because Slough Town have actually brought a new goalkeeper. Nathan Butler Oedeji has signed for Cheltenham on loan. Obviously, Catalin Serjan has joined Rapid Bucharest. Mika Birev has joined Motherwell, but obviously, sadly, he's got a long-term injury. Omar Rekic joined Wigan on loan. Salad Edin Ulad Mahand has signed for Den Bosch on loan. Tyrese John Jules has signed for Derby on loan. Brooke Norton Coffey has joined Millwall on loan. And Charlie Patino has obviously joined Swansea on loan. For players that we've actually got a little bit of a fee for regarding loan-wise is Marquinhos, who's joined Nantes. We actually got £250,000 for him to join on loan for the season. Nuno Tavares, obviously £1 million loan fee with the option to buy him for £12 million. And then Kieran Tierney. He has joined Sociedad for £1.2 million loan fee. That is a dry loan as far as I'm aware. So, yeah, that won't be happening on a permanent for me. Also, other players that have joined other clubs. So we've got Mazid Ogunbo. He's joined Barrow, whoever he is. Mazid has joined Barrow. Ben Cottrell has joined NS Mura. Nicolas Muller has joined St. Gallen. Zach Orr has obviously been released. He has since joined Southampton. Joel Idaho has joined ADO Den Haag. Tom Smith has been released and joined Colchester. Matt Smith was released, joined Wigan. Runa Runnison has joined Cardiff on loan. Arthur Okwankwo has joined Wrexham on loan. Albert Sambi Lukonga has joined Luton on loan. And finally, the other player that was released and has since joined up with another club is Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who has joined Lyon. Right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the players that we sold, and I'll tell you if we made a good deal or a bad deal. Right, let's start with... I'm going to have to start with Rob Holding. I'm sorry. Sorry, Tone, but we're going to have to. Right. So Rob Holding, we're going to got £1 million. £1 million we've got for him. There will be add-ons, and it will go up to about £3.5–4 million. However, we have undersold, amazingly, how we've done it is beyond me. We've undersold and Rob Holding by £4 million. It's ridiculous. We'll move on to Pablo Mari. Obviously, that was a loan with, I think it was obligation to buy at the end if they stayed up. He's joined Monza. We've undersold him by £1.5 million as well. So that's just even more annoying. Austin Trusty, obviously signed for Sheffield United for £5 million. And once again, we undersold by £6 million. So currently, we're already on an extra £11.5 million we could have got, but we didn't. Matt Turner joined Forest for £7 million. Overall, that is about right. We've not oversold on that. That is about right. Well, I'm going to leave Granit Xhaka till last because that one's a bit of a shock. Balogun, obviously, we sold him to Monaco for £25.6 million. There is add-ons. There is also a sell-on clause as well regarding percentage. So that one, I'm going to go. I think we've got the best we could get for that deal, if I'm honest. Right, Granit Xhaka, it's not good. We actually sold him. It took me a while to get the truth for £12.8 million. We undersold Xhaka by £10 million. We made hardly anything. It's ridiculous. We could have got an extra £10 million, but we didn't. So overall, 21.5. So we undersold by 21.5 million. It's not great. It's not great reading, I'll be honest. And in total, we actually bought in just the £58.05 million. It's not good enough. It really is not good enough. And that's where we've really got to improve. Let's just go back to what people have been saying. Silver one saying outs 2 out of 10. I know that's very much to do with Holding as well. Maybe I'm naive, but I feel like we need more connections with directors and agents to sell better. Yep, as I said, what show was it? I think Friday show. I said Edu needs to improve on his little black book. They've all got the little black book, and it's got numbers to agents and intermediaries and just everyone involved in the sales. And Edu is lacking. with numbers and names, and he's very well connected with some in Brazil, but that's about it. And he's not even managed to get Patillo over the line, which for me is annoying, because I think Patillo is someone that I think we could do. And I'd even go with Andre Andrade. I would love him. I would absolutely love him to come here. But again, another player we've just not managed to get over the line. But we'll get into who else we didn't get over the line as well. Our selling is the embarrassment of any transfer window. 100%. Flathead Media agreed. With Cedric and Pepe out, we've got rid of the, what's the word I'm looking for exactly? We have, look, Pepe, I think the Turkish window is open until about the 15th of September, I think, something like that. The Saudi League closes in 2 days. So, look, I expect Pepe to go for something. It probably won't be much, but we'll get something. At least we shouldn't have to tear his contract. Cedric, I kind of expect us to terminate his contract. I can't see what is the point of having him at the club. I'll be honest. I can't see the point. Clubs mug us off because of how many players' contracts we terminated. That's the consequence of doing that. We're not respected in the market. We're not respecting the market. I totally agree with that. It's not necessarily to do with the contract terminations. It's more to do with the fact we've just been so poor at selling for multiple years. I think I did a show a good while back now, and I said that this has been going on for about 20 years at Arsenal, where we're just not selling well. We let a lot of people just go out on free contracts, and it's not helpful. The upside is we've got their wages off the books. Yeah, we have. I'm still furious with the holding sale. Disgusting. I agree with you more, Tony. It's the most horrendous deal. Look, I think we can all sit on camera and all agree that Holding has more experience, more Premier League experience than Austin Trusty. Now, yes, we undersold Austin Trusty. We only got 5 million for him, but there is no way he's worth more than Rob Holding. You know, with the amount of Premier League experience Holding's got, it makes zero sense. And he's only 27. It's not like he's 31, 32. He's 27. It's absolutely bonkers. Holding, I think, was loyalty sell. No, it's not because I love him and he's gone. The deal is embarrassing. It's ridiculous. I think Crystal Palace must be laughing their heads off. Tony Brook, your boy, on £280,000 a week. It's going to be as difficult as Pepe and Ozil to get rid of soon. I think for Havertz, I'm not on the side of I think he's going to be a flop. I think he will come good. I just think we need to find a way of making him play good. Look, I like him. I like him as a player. Do I think we should have bought him? No, not in a million years. We'll go into him in a second, but yeah, it made no sense to sign him. But it is what it is. Balogun, I think, will rise to 50 million. It will technically rise with add-ons to around 30 to 35 million. The hope is, and it's a bit of a weird hope if I'm honest, is that Balogun does really well for a couple of years and then is sold for a substantial amount of money, which we will then get a very high percentage of the sale. That is where I think we will make the money. The Balogun sale was the only good one. It's probably the best. Turner one was also, even. It wasn't a bad sale. It wasn't a great sale. It was all right. I literally just gave it a tick. I wasn't like, oh, I'm so happy about that. Balogun will sell on clause. Yeah, with the sell on clause, it definitely should get quite a lot. I expect him to do pretty well, but I don't really see a huge sale in him. We'll see. What did Spurs get for their defender? That was appalling. We should have got more for Holding. 100%, but Daniel Levy is way better at this than what Edu is right now. And that's the thing. That's where it's different. We're just not good sellers. We need to improve it. And to be self-sustainable, we have to improve very quickly. Transfer market was correct then, because those are the figures I used on my transfer window reaction show. I don't know what transfer market say, to be fair. So yeah, Luke, my boy, will come good. I have had a word. Who needs to be sacked? Those sales plus not being able to sell Tierney, etc., isn't good enough. The problem with the Tierney one was no one was really interested in buying him. Everyone wanted to loan him, and a lot didn't even want to put option to buy. Celtic didn't have them enough money in the end, which was a bit of a shame. So yeah, it's just annoying. Now we've signed players on longer contracts. That should improve. Yes. There will be 2 more new contracts coming out soon. Odegaard and Benjamin White will be signing their new deals shortly. So yeah, it just secures their market value as well, and just secures their future at the club for a little bit longer. So yeah, contract wise, I have no issues, but that's Richard Garlick's job. So Richard Garlick is doing an absolute weldy when it comes to signing contracts. But Edu just needs to improve. Do I feel he needs to be sacked? I don't think he's done enough this summer, not to impress me. I did say this had to be the big summer for Edu, and I don't think it's been big enough, if I'm honest. Bobby, why are Sky Sports saying we got more for the players? Was it a Arsenal PR? Yes, it is. And what they also do, they like to add all the add-ons. Now, add-ons, yes, a lot do happen, but also I know in a lot of deals, the add-ons do not happen. So you are just stuck with the basic fee. So I always go with the basic fees because add-ons are not a certainty. For those to happen, certain things have to happen. So what you are guaranteed, and this is where, like I said, with Canners a few weeks ago, is we would then open our purse and see how much money we got. So we didn't have enough money. I think I've worked it out to be we had £25.5 million left to stay within FFP. 25.5 is not enough to get anybody. There was 2 attempts on the Friday, the transfer deadline, both on loan, both failed, both went to different clubs. I did say that I would expect us to fly over to Turkey and pay the release clause for Victor Nelson, because he was 20. I think his release clause is 21 million, and that was a defensive cover. But no, per shares would cost more than 25.5 million. I think it'd be around the 35-40 million pound mark, so he would have been out of our price range. But there's not much you can do with 26 million, and that's the problem. So after Havertz talk, there will be a little bit of chat about January, but we have got some money to play with, and that's the main thing. And that is 25 million pounds after the Raya deal. So it doesn't get wiped out by the Raya deal. We've got that after the Raya deal. So I think it's not too bad so far. Edu is selling on the Brazilian market prices. I think he is at the moment, to be fair. Who would you get to replace Edu? That Liverpool guy, Michael Edwards, I think his name was. Yeah, look, there's a few, and there's a few in Europe. And to be fair, I would do everything possible to get someone from the Red Bull system. I think Red Bull just know how to run their clubs brilliantly. I'll just find someone out of the Red Bull system. I would love that. They just know what to do, and they'll get some good scouts. We've got good scouts, don't get me wrong, but we could definitely improve on our scouting system. So yeah, I try and dip into the Red Bull system and just try and nick one of theirs, because they're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We're supposed to be a bigger club than Chelsea, yet they spend and don't seem to have issues with FFP. Okay, let's quickly talk about Chelsea. They believe they are fine within FFP. They believe it. Whether or not they are is another matter. They think they've done everything in the right manner. But when it comes to the, I suppose you would call it FFP check, that's when we'll all know if they have done it in the right way. I don't believe they have. And there's a lot of people within the football world that don't think they have either. You don't get punished just out the blue. You get punished after the books are checked. So yeah, let's wait and see on that one. Let's wait and see. It's going to be interesting. Let's move on to the Kai Havertz chat, the honest truth. Right, the honest truth. Okay, so Arsenal had a plan at the end of the season. Havertz was not on the plan. There was obviously Declan Rice was clearly on the plan. The goalkeeper really wasn't either. The goalkeeper was just a moment fault, which we ended up dipping into that. And also Timber was in the plan of his top player character type, positional wise. There was a few that were looked at as well, other than Timber. But yeah, Timber was the man that was chosen, and to be fair, was the right man as well. He looks like an absolute incredible signing. He looks my favourite one. Declan Rice, obviously, we all knew about this for months and months and months, and there was never any issues with it. I don't know for anyone that remembers me doing the my fantasy transfer window. I did say I should sell Turner because I felt that if we were to get a goalkeeper in, he would also have to fit the way that Arsenal play football. And Turner, brilliant shot stopper, brilliant goalkeeper, just doesn't fit our system. So I did say, we could sell him. I could buy a cheap one. We could buy a cheaper one, let's be honest. But Arsenal have gone for a different idea. Will it pay off? Who knows? Currently, we have a £30 million goalkeeper on the bench. I'm pretty sure we could have spent that 30 million elsewhere and we could have got a cheaper goalkeeper, but it is what it is. That wasn't part of the plan A either. Let's move on to Kai. Now, Kai became available through Chelsea needing to sell players. Now, Chelsea notified interested parties. That is when Arteta went, oh, hello. Now, the problem is, when he went, oh, hello, we had already agreed a deal to sign another midfielder. I think it was about 48 hours. We then pulled that deal automatically, scrapped it, moved on to Havertz. And that was a quick deal in the end. Havertz was a very quick deal. Mainly because Chelsea needed the money and they needed to sell. They knew they needed to sell. Havertz was very happy to work with Arteta and not play for Arsenal. He wasn't plan A. And to be fair, I don't think he was in any plans, if I'm honest. Even I've said, I don't believe that Havertz will fit in our system. I hope he does really well. I love him. I think he's a brilliant player. Everyone knows how much I like him. He's German international. I loved him when he was at Leverkusen. It just hasn't worked out at Chelsea. It doesn't sometimes. It just doesn't work at some clubs. However, he's not doing himself any favours, as Tony said. Havertz he's not doing himself any favours, and he's not. He needs to improve. Look, there was a couple of instances not yesterday. What day are we on? I'm trying to think what day we're on now. Sunday. Which he could have done better. But then other players also had a slip, had an error in them. And that is what happens. I do believe he can come good. I hope he does. I hope it for Kai. I hope it for Arsenal. But I think it will have to get to a point of, if it doesn't work out this season, Arsenal need to move him on quickly. The Fabio Vieira thing, look, a lot of people were not keen on him last season. They saw enough of him to say he's not good enough, blah, 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 blah. And look at him now. He looks absolutely incredible. his situation and Kai's is very different. Kai's been in the country, played in the Premier League for 3 years now. He knows the EPL. He knows English football. He knows the culture and all this stuff. So none of that is an excuse. It's now down to confidence and technical ability. He's got the technical ability. He just needs a big, huge confidence boost. He needs a game that just is mind-blowing, gets the fans all cheering his name. That's what he needs right now. He needs a really good confidence booster, and I do hope it comes soon. I personally would play him against Everton. I think we need a good few goals against him for him, but we'll wait and see. Let's get into some questions, some chats. Is all right holding out for players? Levy does that, but it's not too bad. Players Levy couldn't have sold the rubbish we were selling. Yeah, exactly. My boy Bobby, don't upset me. I like Kai, so I'm never going to go hard on him. And for me, if it doesn't work out, I think we should just sell on in the summer and sell him to Germany. I honestly do think that he would be great in the Munich lineup. I think he'd absolutely bang for Munich. And to be honest, Union Berlin, there's a few clubs in Germany I think he would absolutely excel at because of the way he plays. And it's not like he's poor at international level, because he's not. We were never going together, Caicedo, Bobby. Look at what we went for. Caicedo was plan A. The price did drastically go up for Caicedo, as you've now seen how much he's got sold for. What Brighton were asking for was ridiculous. There was no Champions League release clause. That was bogus, which is why Munich went for it. I think Munich bid for about 90 million. But yeah, Caicedo just outpriced in the end. But there was someone else. We'd actually paid his release clause, and then it just got pulled. It just got pulled and ended there. And then, so sadly, this player I would have loved, but it is what it is. Arteta, I think a lot of people are right in saying this. This all will end up being Arteta's fault, and I totally agree, because he did go against the data analyst. He went against all the plans that were built up at the end of the season, who we want to spend the money on, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it will end on him. And to be honest, rightly so, it should be Arteta's fault, because he ignored all the data analysts. So Havertz is not doing himself any favours. That's kudos. It's not kudos, actually. It's someone else. At the end of the day, this Havertz sign is all on Arteta, 100%. Davinson Sanchez going Turkish League for £13 million, and Holding, we get $1 million very weak. Well, there you go, Moss. That is where you can compare two defenders. And for me, Holding's better than Davinson Sanchez. I've seen Davinson Sanchez enough to say that he's a poor defender, but they've managed to get £13 million for him. We've got £1 million for Rob Holding. It's mad. The amount we paid for Havertz would have gotten us Maddison and Kudos. The opportunity cost of Havertz is big because there were so many good targets available. The player that we actually agreed with, 100%, he would have been brilliant for us. We would have loved him. So, yeah, let's have a look. I do agree with you, Bobby, about my boy. German players do seem to have that lazy mentality. Yeah, they do. I think if we're forcing players playing Havertz now so he can gain confidence, be ready for our lads in Champions League, and then be in a rotation system. Possible. How are you? Big up to Luca. Not too bad, thank you. If Monaco Bobby resigns Ballo, do we still get more dollars then? If Monaco Bobby resigns Ballo, do we get more dollars? We get more dollars. We get more pounds. You're making me say dollars here. We get more pounds if they sell him. We've got a large substantial percentage sell-on clause, a percentage. I believe it's around 20% that we can get. So if he went for 60 million, that is an extra 15 million. So there's the 50 million pounds that we all were talking about. That's what I kind of expect, 60 million. It depends how well he does. Look, at the moment, I know he's only just been there for one game. He was on the bench. We'll wait and see. I hope he does well. I want him to do well for him. So yeah, let's move on from the Kai, because I do wish him all the best here. And it is a shame that it hasn't worked out so far. But we are only 4 games in. Let's be honest, guys. It's nothing to be too stressed about. It's 4 games in. You never know what might happen. But we are against Everton next, and I personally think he could tear that Everton midfield apart. He just needs some confidence. I think if he put that shot away on Sunday, there's his confidence. He just needs confidence. And the problem is the Arsenal fan base and the Arsenal fans in the Emirates are very quick to go boo. We need some cuddles around him. We just need to boost him a little bit. I'm not going to be too hard on him. You know, it's not his fault that he cost £65 million. It's not his fault we signed him. So with some Arsenal supporters wanting Arteta out, has he loaded their gun with Havertz? 100%. The same people that want Arteta out have put Havertz as part of the ammunition. Exactly the same people. So yeah, it's a shame. But just remember, this is not Kai's fault. Kai didn't tell us to sign him. You know, Arsenal wanted him. He chose to come to Arsenal. He was excited about the project. He is a smiley German. That's not very often. Right, let's move on to January plans. There is a possibility that we could be looking at a January signing. Don't know who at the moment. I will know more November, December time. But there is a possibility. Could it be a forward? There's a lot of talk about Ivan Toney. I don't believe that as a big rumor, as a one to put my hat on right now, because I just don't believe it, because I know that there is next summer a striker that we are looking at, that we are doing some legwork for. So it makes no sense to buy Ivan Toney in January, which will cost a lot of money, bear in mind, to then buy another striker in next summer, who will then be pushing Toney out of the club. It just makes no sense. And we've got Jesus as well. It doesn't make much sense. I think we'll get a defender. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually got a midfielder as well in January. But like I said, I will know more November, December time for more certain, because I think next summer, and I'll get into it now because it is the next and the final talking point, is there is a lot of stuff we need to work out for next summer. Tomiyasu contract situation is not as rosy as we would like it. Thomas Partey, he will only have 1 year left next summer. What do we do with him? Like I said, I think we should have sold him this summer. There was a lot of people putting pressure on Arteta to sell him this summer. We turned offers down. We could have got another player in to replace him. And it's kind of looking like we should have done it. So, you know, it is what it is. But I think next summer, as much as I said it would probably be one big signing, I think it could quite be another case of a 3 or 4 or 5 player window. One big player and then quite substantial, decent, good players coming in, like a Timber. No, I do apologise, Timber, not just calling you decent, being a great signing, but not big fee players. Because Timber, to be fair, is like £30 million signing. It's not a much. So yeah, I think Tony mucked up with what he put on social media when Brentford beat us 2-0 training sessions and managers don't forget. I've not heard enough to say that that's true at all, the Tony links. Not with me. And I think we're talking about 70-80 million pounds. To be honest, I think he's there now until at least next summer, because I can see him moving. I can see him going to a bigger club, but it's definitely not Arsenal. Not for me. From what I know, it's not him. We've done a lot of legwork on someone else, and I expect that legwork to continue until January, and then there'll be a bit more oomph about it. So yeah, I just don't see it being Tony. Sell Party, he's a 6-month-a-year player. I don't think he's even 6 months a year, I'll be honest. As I said, I saw a lot of data supporting the idea of me selling Party. I just think that he doesn't suit our system. He's not versatile enough. You know, he does get injured way more in the UK than he does anywhere else. It's crazy. You know, I don't think he ever got injured at Madrid, but he's just constantly getting injured with us. So yeah, we need to wait and see what happens with Thomas Partey. But it's not looking great, people. It's not looking great. I don't think he's going to be out for very long. I think it's probably 6 weeks maximum he'll be out. I know there's a lot of people saying it's 3 months, but I think it's about six weeks. We both said Partey should be sold. Yeah, exactly, mate. And a lot of people were just going, "What are you on?" And I'm like, I get why people like him, but it's the age and it's the contract as well. It's the fact that his contract is up in 2 years. He's not going to take a decrease, as far as I'm aware, in contract. And this is the best time to sell him. I guarantee we're going to lose about 15 to 20 million in market value by next summer. And that's not good enough. You know, to be self-sustainable, you have to sell players at the right time when you know they're going to leave, which is why we sold Balogun. You know, we sold Balogun now because if he waited another year, he would have lost a lot in market value. Even if he had a great season out on loan, he'd still lose market value because his contract would be just 1 year left. So, you know, it's crazy. It's horrible to talk about it, but to be the way that we have to run our business, we have to sell at the opportune time. And if you've only got 2 years on your contract, I'm sorry, but it needs to be the time for you to go. And for me, he's not versatile enough. Let's just, while we're talking about player contracts, we'll quickly have a look at who will be out of, who will be close to contract next summer. So yeah, Thomas Partey will be. Don't need to talk about Pepe. Obviously, Odegaard will be down to 2 years, but as I said, he will be signing his new contract soon. Jorginho will be out next summer, but he has a 1 year option. Cedric couldn't care about. Sorry, Cedric. Tomiyasu will have 2 years left on his deal. So yeah, it's not great. The Tomiyasu one is one we have to consider. Smith Rowe will be down to 2 years next summer. So Smith Rowe one needs to be organised as well. Trossard, yeah, but to be fair, his age. Ramsdale will be down to 2 years next summer as well. So yeah, Bobby will be looking to get 10 million next year, but Edu will be blamed. Yeah, well, this is the thing. Edu will be blamed on this one, and it's not Edu's fault. This was an Arteta thing. Single player going out this summer, and he wouldn't rubber stamp a Partey. I think he should have. Do you think that Partey's performances are consistent enough for the future? 100% not. 100% not. Honestly, there are times in the game, even when he has a good game, he has about a 5 or 10 minute blip. I can't remember what game it was. He started, and for the first 5 minutes, I swear he had the wrong shoes on. He was awful for the first 5 minutes. And this is not a party agenda, by the way. It's just me being honest. The guy is in 2 years left in his deal. He's coming to the end of his career, considering the position he plays. You know, he gets injuries ridiculously more often than the trains turn up at Wolverhampton Station. So yeah, next summer we will have a squad of 27 players when the 4 players on loan whose contracts exceed beyond the summer. So we would have to sell loan 3 players before we sign one with the 25-man Premier League squad. Yes, that is very true. Which is again why I think that a bigger window than what I first expect it to be. I think it will be a 3 or 4, maybe 5 player window with one big signing. It will be definitely one big signing. That won't change. I'm pretty sure this is obviously we had big signing this summer with Declan Rice. Next summer it will be another name. It will be all money on him. So yeah, if ESR can't get into the team, I think we should sell him. He's had time, 100%. I think we should have sold him. If we could have sold him this summer, I would have sold him this summer. I'd consider selling him in January. The quicker we sell him, the better. If we are going to sell him, if we're not going to play him, I would love to see him in the club. I would absolutely love to see him in the Arsenal shirt and excelling. But at the end of the day, we have to run our business well. We can't have a player that's actually worth a lot of money. And Smith Rowe is worth a lot of money. He's worth around 35 to 40 million pounds. That's a lot of money. Sell him. It's simple as that. I bet Partey goes to Saudi Arabia next year. As long as Saudi Arabia don't do what China did, where China had this massive window and then all of a sudden they brought in new rules about who you can sign and blah, 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 blah. I don't think Saudi would do that because they've got unlimited amounts of money. But yeah, I expect another crazy summer for the Saudi League next summer. And that's where we have to keep our eyes open for people that you kind of don't expect to want to go to Saudi. We'll just go to Saudi. Vieira has jumped ahead of ESR now. Yeah, he has. 100%. Look, the cameo roles that he's done so far this season have been amazing. I don't think he'll play against Everton, if I'm honest, because it's good as a park. It's one of those pitches that depend on the weather. Currently, we're in a massive heat wave here, so God knows what the grass will be like. Yeah, we'll wait and see. But that is it. As for what I'm doing for the rest of the week, I don't really know. Obviously, the Arsenal women are playing tomorrow. I would love to be able to do the watch along for that. I just can't. I'm sorry. They are playing in the Champions League first leg tomorrow. So big up to the Arsenal women. I will probably be back next Tuesday, unless anything else happens. If something else happens, I'll definitely come back. If Pepe leaves for definite, I might do a party stream on that. I don't know. But yeah, obviously, we're on an international break. I'll be doing some watch-alongs on FTSN like I always do over the weekend. I think I'm doing internationals this weekend. So, yeah. And then next week, obviously, we've got the Everton game, which obviously is 5:30 kickoff on the Saturday, I believe. So, obviously, we'll do a preview like we normally do. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. This one's a bit of a hard one to talk about because obviously I just wanted to be a bit honest about the Arsenal transfer window. I'm not going to be hard. I'm not going to be rah. I just being honest. Like things didn't go according to plan. Things didn't make sense for a lot of Arsenal fans. Would you sell Salah to? Yeah, I would. I'd snap the hand off for it. I'd be like, see you later. Bye-bye, Salah. I would take that money every day, mate. Big up to the Assembled. You seem to speak sense. I'll be back. Nice show. Thank you very much to the Assembled. Really appreciate it. The truth sometimes hurts. It does. And, look, I was never the greatest fan of Arteta. Still not. But that's my prerogative. I'm not going to just hate on Arsenal because they've got Arteta. I support the club. The club matters to me, not a man, not a player, the club. the club matters to me. So I wish the best for Arsenal. And so far, 4 games, 3 wins, 1 draw. It's not a bad start. Could do better. The game on Sunday was very dramatic, which was very nice to see. But yes, we'll wait and see. But guys, I will be definitely back soon at some point. I don't know when, but it will be soon. Take care for now. Speak to you later. Bye-bye.